Hi viewers, welcome to Deep Dive America. Today we dive into the Project 2025 Exposed, the shocking plan to control America's government. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear is as real as it gets. Imagine waking up one morning to a government you no longer recognize. Not by force, not by revolution, but by design. A quiet, calculated takeover, unfolding not in the chaos of a coup, but in the shadows of bureaucracy. This is the chilling claim behind Project 2025, a blueprint, some say, to reshape power from within. Who's behind it? Why are the corridors of Washington whispering about it, while the powerful stay silent? The documents are real, the plan is detailed, and the stakes? Control. This isn't conspiracy, it's strategy. The question is, who's pulling the strings? And when will the rest of America notice before it's too late? This isn't just policy. This isn't just politics. This is a takeover. Quiet, calculated, and already in motion. Project 2025, a sweeping, meticulously crafted strategy pushed by powerful think tanks and political operatives, isn't just about winning elections. It's about seizing the machinery of government itself. Imagine a federal bureaucracy where every lever of power, the Justice Department, the FBI, even education, no longer answers to the public but to a single unchallenged ideology, where decades of institutional knowledge are erased overnight, replaced by hand-picked loyalists. They call it streamlining. They call it efficiency. But make no mistake, this is a blueprint for control. The plan has been years in the making, forged in the halls of conservative legal circles and libertarian think tanks. Now it's ready. A playbook to dismantle the civil service, purge dissent, and reshape Washington from within. No messy coups, no dramatic declarations. Just signatures on papers, quiet appointments, and suddenly, the rules change. The question isn't if they can do it. The documents are written. The allies are in place. The question is, will anyone stop them before it's too late? Power. Who holds it? Who loses it? And who rewrites the rules to keep it? That's what Project 2025 is really about. Its architects see a federal bureaucracy they call the deep state, a shadow system of career officials they believe obstructs the will of elected leaders. Their answer? Tear it down. Replace independence with loyalty. Hand the keys of government to those who won't question, won't resist, just obey. This isn't reform. This is a hostile takeover of the system itself. The vision comes straight from the playbooks of the Federalist Society, the Heritage Foundation, and other conservative powerhouses. For decades, they've warned of unelected regulators controlling everything from your gas stove to your child's classroom. But here's the dangerous irony. To stop so-called government overreach, Project 2025 would give the White House more power than ever before. More control, fewer checks, a single hand on the wheel with no one to slam the brakes. The founders designed America to resist this exact threat, a president acting like a king, agencies turned into political weapons. But if Project 2025 succeeds, that system collapses. No balance, no guardrails. Just raw, unchallenged authority. The question isn't whether they'll try. The plan is written. The allies are ready. The question is, will America notice before it's too late? This isn't some shadowy conspiracy. These are names you know, power you recognize. The Heritage Foundation, Washington's most influential conservative think tank, is the architect. But they're not working alone. This is a coalition of the powerful, billionaire donors, Federalist Society legal minds, and former White House officials who never really left the game. They're not hiding, they're organizing. Leonard Leo, the man who remade the Supreme Court, is involved. The Koch network, funding it. The Mercer family, backing it. This isn't speculation. It's in their memos, their donor lists, their training programs. And when you see former Trump officials being quietly vetted for a return, that's not coincidence. That's a playbook. They've learned from the past. No more haphazard appointments. No more unprepared loyalists. This time, they have lists, thousands of names, every agency, every department, pre-screened, pre-trained, ready to move in the moment the doors open. The media might miss it, but the people in the room? They know. This is a systematic takeover, not with tanks in the streets, but with paperwork at midnight. The question isn't if they're doing this. The documents are public. The money is traceable. The question is, who's going to stop them? Because right now, they're counting on the rest of us not paying attention. Project 2025 isn't coming. It's already here. The machinery of Project 2025 doesn't just reshape power, it rewrites the rules of American government itself. At its core, a single devastating legal maneuver, reclassifying tens of thousands of career civil servants as Schedule F employees. What does that mean? Overnight, these professionals, experts in everything from environmental protection to Social Security, could be fired. No due process, no appeals. Just gone. Imagine the EPA's climate scientists replaced. Justice Department attorneys purged. Social Security administrators swapped out for political loyalists. Decisions that once required years of research, bipartisan consensus, or scientific review, now made by ideology alone. And it doesn't stop there. The plan calls for sweeping deregulation, slashing climate protections, privatizing public services, defunding social programs, all branded as efficiency. But ask yourself, efficient for who? This isn't about changing policies. This is about changing reality, about taking the guardrails off democracy itself. They've studied previous administrations' failures, learned every bureaucratic loophole. Now they're ready to exploit them, methodically, ruthlessly. The training manuals are written, the target lists prepared, the legal justifications polished. Some will call this alarmist, but the documents don't lie. The plan is too detailed, too comprehensive to be anything but exactly what it appears. A hostile takeover of the American system. Not with violence in the streets, but with signatures in quiet offices. Not with a revolution, but with a reorganization. Project 2025 isn't coming in some distant future. The groundwork is being laid today. The only question left is, will America wake up in time to stop it? You might be sitting there thinking, this is Washington politics. How does it really affect me? Let me show you exactly how. Picture your child's classroom where protections for LGBTQ+ students vanish overnight. Imagine your hometown air and water, no longer protected by science but by political favors. Your Social Security checks, now at the mercy of appointees who see safety nets as handouts. This isn't abstract. Your healthcare premiums, they could skyrocket when Affordable Care Act protections are gutted. Your workplace safety, compromised when OSHA becomes a paper tiger. Even how your community responds to disasters, floods, pandemics, toxic spills, could change when FEMA's professionals are replaced with yes men. They're coming for the invisible systems that protect you every day. The tax code rewritten to favor the powerful. Public schools turned into ideological battlegrounds. Federal agencies weaponized to silence dissent rather than serve citizens. This is how democracies erode, not with a bang, but with 1,000 bureaucratic cuts. Think about the last time you relied on a food safety inspection, a student loan forgiveness program, a fair election overseen by nonpartisan officials. Now imagine all those systems answering to political operatives instead of professionals. Project 2025 isn't about governing. It's about control. Your health, your livelihood, your children's future, all reshaped by people who believe expertise is the enemy and loyalty is the only qualification that matters. The terrifying truth? This isn't speculation. The plans are public. The personnel lists exist. The only thing still undecided is whether enough Americans will recognize the danger before it's too late. Here's what should terrify you most about Project 2025: the silence. While celebrity scandals dominate headlines, one of the most radical government overhauls in U.S. history barely gets mentioned. Not in prime time, not on front pages, just whispers. Is it too complex for sound bites? Too dangerous to discuss? Or simply not profitable enough for the 24-hour news cycle? Whatever the reason, the effect is the same. If this were happening in Venezuela or Hungary, we'd call it what it is: a bureaucratic coup. But here, it's buried under outrage of the day politics and viral tweets. They're counting on this distraction, on your exhaustion, on the assumption that by the time America notices, it'll already be too late to stop it. Now that you've seen the truth about Project 2025, this is where we fight back. First weapon? Knowledge. Don't just skim headlines, dig into the actual policy documents, track the appointments, follow the money trails. They're counting on you getting bored, on your eyes glazing over at bureaucratic processes. Prove them wrong. Second, amplify this. Share this video, but don't stop there. Talk about it at dinner tables, in group chats, at union meetings. Most Americans still haven't heard of Project 2025, and that's exactly what its architects want. Break that silence. Make it impossible to ignore. Finally, and this is crucial, demand answers. Not just from politicians, but from local media that aren't covering this. From corporations funding these groups. From professional associations that should be sounding alarms. Flood town halls with questions. Document every evasive response. Turn up the heat until accountability burns through their plans. Understand this: Project 2025 isn't some hypothetical scenario. The training programs are running right now. The loyalty pledges are being signed. The only variable, Hammond, is how many Americans wake up in time to block the doors. This is Deep Dive America. If we've pulled back the curtain for you today, subscribe. Because the next episode shows exactly how communities are already organizing resistance. Stay vigilant, stay connected. And remember, they want you to feel powerless. Right up until the moment you prove you're anything but.